Hi, I am Bill Skripchek, president of Waverider Trading Technologies. The FX Morning Mayhem podcast is an essential listen for currency traders. Each episode covers a curated watch list of key currency pairs alongside insightful market observations. It highlights crucial daily news events that could influence the market, ensuring traders are well informed. Additionally, the podcast offers valuable trading strategy tips, catering to both new and experienced traders in the Forex market. This podcast is for educational purposes only. None of this info should be construed as investment advice. To see the trades called out live on our Slack channel, click the link in the description to join the trade faction. And now on with the show.
I go for these really long walks. That's why I'm a little late today, because I walk farther than I normally do. And I remember I read this in the book, the biography of Steve Jobs, where he would just go for really long walks when he needed to think about something, or if he needed to meet with a key executive and figure something out. So I found it also to be a fantastic, just get away from everything and let your brain do its thing.
Yeah, I hear you.
Okay. So anyway, earlier this week when I was on a walk, the idea struck me that there might be another trading opportunity here other than what I will now call the sync trade. It's the synchronization of the trend, the wave, and whether or not the AI thinks the pattern is tradable.
Gotcha.
So the other idea that I had is, what about if I just, for example, here, as we're looking at this, when this line goes from neutral to one way or the other, right? Make that an alert, and then come up with a scheme for exiting that trade. And my scheme was either you exit the trade either if the trend goes neutral again, or the trade goes stale. And the staleness is delineated by the color that used to be down here and a bunch of little dots up here. But I came up with the clever idea of, why don't I just make the line the color of the freshness of the trade? Okay.
Gotcha.
Okay. So this particular, if I was to get into this trade right now, let's say this line just changed to the green color. This is a lime green, so that's a very fresh trade. So that would be a good trade to get into.
Okay.
Okay. That being said, all of that stuff, I went to the handy dandy Testomatic, plugged in, had Sherman plug in all the numbers into the Wayback Machine, and it really sucks.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So it goes from the sync trade. If you just use the line, if the line goes neutral to as your exit, that has it's 75% plus success rate. Okay. This idea that I just described ended up being about a 30 or 40%. You could still trade that profitably. People trade 30% systems and make a shit ton of money. So it's just a matter of, do I want more alerts? I think maybe I do. I don't know. We'll see. I'm going to plug them in and just keep an eye on them, but I'm only going to report on the sync trade ones.
Gotcha.
So I need a better name than that. I don't like that sync trade. Makes it sound like the kitchen sink. What's a cool word for a planetary alignment? There's got to be like a science fiction word.
No idea.
Yeah, I'm going to do a little research on that. I'll come up with a better word. Anyway. Is this thing on? Yep. So here's what's going on today. All right. This one is obviously still in an uptrend, but a top has been formed here. The top phase of the minor wave. Ooh, that sounds so schooly. It's at the top phase of a minor wave. And we're looking for a short setup here. Aussie Chief is in a neutral trend. We are at the top of a wave phase. So we are looking for a short setup, which might happen pretty soon. Yeah, we'll have to see. Aussie New Zealand is it's definitely in a downtrend. It's at an extreme as far as how far it's run. and it is at the bottom of a wave phase. So we are waiting for a long signal to fire off here. This is the opposite of the last one. We are at a upper wave phase. We are at an extreme, waiting for the signal to flip to the downside for a short setup. EuroCAD, the other way, all over again. Bottom of wave phase, extreme trend to the downside. We are waiting for a long setup here. Euro SGD. I wonder what the SGD is. I need to look that up. That's been
Singapore dollar.
Singapore. Oh, okay. Thank you. Singapore dollar. Okay. That's good because we don't have any Asian influenced currency in here because they throw a wrench in my model because of the way you notice how these are 0 point dot or 1 point dot, dot, dot. All the Japanese currencies are like 400, 300, 200, dot, dot, dot. And I need to modify the code and I'm just being lazy and I don't feel like doing it. But anyway, so Euro, Singapore dollar in a downtrend. What phase of the wave are we in? Oh, it looks like that's back here. Okay, we're at a bottom phase. So we are waiting for we are waiting for a long setup here. Pound Aussie dollar. We are at a lower minor wave phase. We are in a downtrend. We are waiting for the trend to shift to the upside. Okay, and then this is the only one that I am in right now. This is Pound Chief, and this is God, what are they? I got to come up with a word. What is another word for a planetary? Hey, Siri, what's another word for a planetary alignment?
Another word for a planetary alignment is syzygy.
Whoa, I like that.
Oh, there you go. That's a buzzword.
I like that one. Syzygy. We are in a syzygy here. That even sounds fun to say. We are in a syzygy, and we are at the very beginning of the trend because it's pink. So it goes from pink to red to dark red to like maroon. This is a downtrend. I have my profit target set right around here somewhere, just because there's a lot of pointy places there and a lot of consolidation all through this area. That was my logic for picking those. You could just wait until this goes maroon, because then that would be the trend running its course. And then obviously the exit would be if this line goes neutral. So I'm trying to figure out how to incorporate all that into a product. That's why I haven't come out with anything yet, because I was originally going to do a text, but if I do text, it's hard to communicate the colors.
Yeah.
If an app, it's just so much work. And I just like when I think app, I'm like, oh God, that's all I do is apps. It's just work for me. You know what I mean? But that might be the correct solution. Some kind of webhook notification that captures. And I got to communicate with the TradingView people too, because they don't really have something that does that. The trading hooks allow you to collect a few pieces of information, but not necessarily. If I create a variable inside one of my programs, I can't grab that. But if it's something like generic, like the open, the low, the high, the low, or whatever that they do, you can put that in a webhook.
You can't put your own variable in a webhook?
It doesn't, maybe I'm wrong, but it doesn't appear to be easy to do that. So that might be the solution. I still might be able to do that with a text. If I can do the webhook thing, I could probably do it with a text and then just send in the text all those little pieces of information. So anyway, this one's in a short. I think this one's going to work out just fine. And then NASDAQ Chief we are at the top of a wave phase. We are waiting for syzygy. Was that the word? Syzygy?
Yep, syzygy.
We are waiting for syzygy to happen at the top and the trend and the signal to go to the bottom. And that's all she wrote.